All right, welcome back to Today right here on eNCA. Let's bring you this now. Higher Education, Science and Innovation Minister, that's Nzimande, has delivered the keynote address at a CSIR launch event. Now, the Council for Scientific and Industrial Research is looking at commercializing its technologies, this to help solve some of the country's daily challenges. The initiative is intended to enhance the Council's efforts to drive industrialisation and further grow the economy. Now, eNCA reporter Heidi Giokos has been tracking that story for us and joins us now to give us the update on what exactly this partnership is all about. Heidi, good to have you and a good afternoon to you. Quite interesting to see this partnership coming together, but what exactly is it all intended for?
Yeah, so it might sound a little bit confusing because when you think of the CSIR, you think of this like research hub, the scientific hub with labs, and you're wondering, how does this all affect me? How does this all matter to me in my daily life? But this is a great initiative between the CSIR and government. So basically what they're going to do is the CSIR embarks on massive research, innovation and technology, and they are going to now use all of that and basically commercialize it, so sell it to governments and say, we have a solution to rolling blackouts, we have a solution to sorting out major infrastructure challenges in this country, we have a solution to dealing with, for example, the issues at Transnet, because you have these researchers and these innovators that really understand the complexities of the problem, and that's their job, to research the problem and to find a solution to all of this. So they've now partnered together to find this new entity that's going to be part of the CSIR, that's going to look at really capitalizing on these research projects. Because before we see the CSIR, I mean, we've had them many times on the show where they speak about their solutions to load shedding, right, or how serious load shedding is, or how many days in a year we've had load shedding and the complexities thereof. So they are going to say, we have this, we have a solution, we have the technology that can change this, and we can now give it to those that will be able to use it and capitalize on it. Let's listen to what the CEO had to say about this new entity and what it's actually going to mean.
The journey of the CSIR has indeed been one that has been filled with hope, excitement, disappointments, challenges, and many, many successes. There is no doubt in my mind about the significant impact that the CSIR has made and continues to make in South Africa over the past 78 years of its existence. Here, I can mention examples such as technologies for protecting cash in transit, the protection of wildlife in our natural parks, technologies that improve the design and performance of our roads, helping our country understand and respond to the impact of climate change, using laser technologies, for instance, together with ESCOM, to repair low-pressure steam turbines to ensure that our power remains on, and providing low-cost broadband to rural communities and townships. And more recently, perhaps I can mention the work that we did to support the national response to the COVID-19 pandemic by manufacturing over 20,000 ventilators that saved many, many lives.
Now, obviously, the Department of Higher Education and Training is very much involved with this project. What did they have to say about this?
Yes, so it's a huge I would say, step for the department to really capitalize on its researchers, on its scientists, to bolster this new entity that comes out of the CSIR. I mean, you just heard the CEO speaking about how they managed to create these ventilators when there was a huge shortage during the COVID-19 pandemic. I mean, people were not surviving because they could not get onto ventilators quick enough. There's also a lot that's got to do with, for example, agriculture. We know that there's a food insecurity. There's a huge concern around food insecurity in this country and on the African continent. And in fact, we spoke to one of the researchers who spoke about this technology that's now being used to provide farmers with better insight, to say, this is what's going wrong, this is how you can capitalize on your maize crop, this is how you can capitalize on your different vegetation, and really try and deal with this food security issue. So the minister really welcoming this. I mean, he had a bit of a jab at the media saying, we only report on negative things. And I said, well, I'm here today to report on the good stuff, because this really is fantastic news. It's got to do with really very, very clever people that understand the intricacies of this research and innovation and technology and how we can use that to really better our lives and to solve our problems here in South Africa. And the big concern, before we listen to what the Minister had to say, Tumelo, is that, you know, when you hear of private and public partnership, you always wonder, is there going to be an element of corruption, you know, because the CSIR has been fully functional and working, you know, independently. And now if there's a government element, and unfortunately there's a huge trust deficit, because we always wonder what is this actually going to mean if there's a government partnership in all of this. But they've promised that this is solution-based and it's just to make the lives of South Africans better and to really improve these entities. Let's listen to the Minister.
Technology commercialization can contribute enormously to economic transformation through the introduction of diverse new products, services, and new industries in the South African economy. This can ultimately result in the creation of new products, as I have said, new businesses which can serve as a basis for full-scale localization and industrialization. On the other hand, our Department of Science and Innovation has an important role to create an environment that enables society to thrive through science, technology, and innovation. STI is a primary driver of economic growth, job creation, and socio-economic change in our country. In fact, governments, well, it's not just governments, it's the country's National Development Plan, which is our own detailed blueprint on how South Africa can eliminate poverty and reduce inequality by the year 2030, places science, technology, and innovation at the center of its development agenda. STI is also a key enabler of the much-needed economic transformation, especially in the light of the emerging modern technologies.
All right, of course, that's where we'll leave it with Heidi Giokos just updating us on what's happening with this private-public partnership. And you're right, Heidi, I mean, we've heard so many promises from government, so it's only natural for that bit of skepticism and pessimism to creep in. Let's see how it goes between the two, because, as they say, it's all, of course, to bring solutions to progress South African society. eNCA reporter Heidi Giokos.